made me totally reevaluate my relationship with Martin Lawrence and his movies. This is not good. Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Tyra here with another struggle review, here to discuss Nothing to Lose. Now this movie stars Martin Lawrence, Tim Robbins, and it's from 1997. Now before we jump into why this nostalgia rubbed me all the wrong way with our boy Martin, we love Martin over here, I need you guys to drop down and subscribe to my channel and like this video. I'm going to give you guys a moment to do that, and then we're going to come back and discuss all things. You know, sometimes nostalgia is it's just not all it's cracked up to be. Sometimes it's just trash.
Go back.
You guys have hopefully subscribed to see more of me. Let's jump into this video. Before we get into the movie, I have to give a shout out to the person who requested and paid for this video. If you happen to get your whole in life from this review, it's not because of me, it's because of this person right here. Thank you so much for loving me and supporting my channel and loving this good old content. You all that. Now, getting into this movie was written and directed by Stephen Brent, who also gave us movies like the Nutty Professor movies, the Ace Ventura films, and Patch Adams. Now, this movie in particular is, one of those 80s, 90s. Remember when we got all those buddy action, comedy, cop films where there were, odd pairings, two men, probably of two different races, two different backgrounds. And, we got movies like Money Talks, 48 Hours, Rush Hour, Lethal Weapon, Wild Wild West. This is an addition to those films. Now, this was never one of my go-to films. I remember when I first watched it, I thought it was such an odd, weird pairing. Of course, we have Martin Lawrence here. I always felt like he was in his element here, especially coming off of the Bad Boy films. But then we had Tim Robbins here, and I was like, dude, what are you doing here? Up until this point, I had really only known him for roles like Shawshank Redemption and Jacob's Ladder. Good movies. Now, once we get into the movie, we start by following Nick, who is all too involved in his marriage. Though he can't seem to make time for her date, he loves his wife, everything is perfect, up until the point that he thinks that his boss is sleeping with his wife and she's cheating on him, leading him to have nothing to lose throughout the film. He is downtrodden, he is hurt, and from that point on, we make risky decision after decisions because he just doesn't give a fuck anymore. Now, up until that point in the film, we didn't have, anything spectacular happen with Nick Beam. He just feels smited, feels like he's being cheated on. He is lost, like, what am I gonna do? I have nothing left to live for. I don't give a damn anymore. Everything's okay there. There's, what you can expect from your typical 90s buddy comedy. Once we get into Martin Lawrence being introduced, I was like, oh, this is what I remember from this film. This is what I remember completely not liking. Once we have Martin Lawrence introduced here as Terrence, and of course he's picking the worst date in the world to try to rob him, and pretty much escalates from there. He's including himself in this road trip, this situation, this road to not only, robbery, mischief, mayhem, friendship, and, them building this bond. And, just coincidence after coincidence happening of, you picked the wrong day to do this. I threw my wallet out the window. Now we're having this, whole blowout preschool fight in a diner. All of that was, all cute or whatever. I had such a problem with Martin Lawrence here. It wasn't even funny. It distracted me from anything I thought I could share about this movie. Let me explain. Now, once we have Nick Bean endanger their lives a million times, you know, the whole high speed thing, he's not coming to a halt. There's a truck, there's a car, they're in a diner, they have a fight, and it's just like, you know, this isn't what I thought it was gonna be. You just have so much back and forth between them, this banter. After we have them both pretty much expect the worst out of each other, and you know, you're a thief, you're this, it's like where you're, you know, privileged, you don't know my life, you don't know my background, all of that good stuff. And I realized I had not laughed once. But of course, Tim Robbins is not here to make me laugh. We're here for the laugh from Martin Lawrence. And that's when I completely identified that my problem here with the film was Martin Lawrence. Immediately, as soon as we are introduced to his character, it is just so unfunny, and he is trying so hard, and he's doing, you know, the Martin thing, the overacting, the oh my god, like it's just really extra. And it was totally giving me the disdain that we have now for Kevin Hart, and Kevin Hart being in different films but still delivering that same Kevin Hart performance. Though this year and with the True Story show and Fatherhood, he has made major strides. Kevin Hart been out here acting. I'm not gonna take that away. But prior to that, I just felt like everything with him was stale. I never identified those feelings for Martin Lawrence up until this moment. Like, I was completely in shock. I was like, this shit is not funny. It's not. And I found myself thinking, was it ever funny? Now, I did, you know, think about the time period, and, you know, this is the 90s, the jokes, what may work then might not work now, but none of it was funny. I have seen, of course, movies, you know, that have longevity as far as, like, if you think of something like Harlem Nights, and we have comedians there like, you know, Red Fox, Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, everything that they did there will make you laugh right now today. I could not say that for this freaking movie, and then I went back to see if I could say that for anything. Now, I noticed that Martin in his films, especially in the 90s, tends to do this overacting, this yelling, this kind of physical comedy thing that was never actually funny. Now, everything that he did and when he was his like most funny was perfected on the Martin show, and I feel like that has coasted with me as far as him as a comedian, for me to feel like this man is hilarious, because I just put everything in correlation with the Martin show, the Shanae, the Jerome, what I love. But outside of movies like Do the Right Thing, the Bad Boy films, even early roles like House Party and Boomerang, of course Life, and maybe Big Mama's House, that's still kind of pushing it. For all of those, we have things like National Security, Blue Streak, Black Knight, the Big Mama's House franchise, Nothing to Lose. Like, once I looked at his, you know, filmography, and I was like, wow, this shit has been trash all this time? Where have I been? When was I laughing? Because I wasn't with this film. Like, it's a really cold day when Tim Robbins, as far as comedy, and you know, he's done a lot of other films, he has been in comedies, but I associate him the most with being a dramatic actor. He was delivering more funny than Martin. I just didn't understand what the hell was going on. But I'm Nick Beam, bitch, I'm Nick Beam, and all of the extra shit that was coming along with Martin in this film, I was just like, oh God, I just could not wait for this movie to be over. I just found myself sitting like, we wasted such a good cast here. Like, later on, we get, you know, Bugging Out and several other people who come along and add pretty much nothing to the movie because it's just not good. It's just not a good movie. Now, even though this is a comedy, I felt like the movie could have held a little bit more serious weight, because at the end of the day, it's kind of about, you know, circumstances and giving people a fair shot. We learned that, you know, Terrence has an education. He knows about tech and computers and security systems. He has something to offer, and nobody has really given him a chance. He wants to provide for his family, get them out of the hood. But up until this point, he's only been able to rob, and he's a really honorary robber too. Like, he has expectations of things to go a certain way and tries to have all this honor about himself as a man and be dry. But it's like, nigga, you robbing people, like what? All of that is, you know, thrown away because we have shit like, I'm Nick Bean, bitch, and you can get the fuck out. That's the shit I would say. Like, it's just like, whoa, this is what we've been dealing with all this time from Martin? And we're definitely not going to stop there. I will never sit and say Martin is trash. He cannot act. I think it's just sad here to watch it here and get the revelation here, because it's just like, we know that he can deliver so much more. We know Martin at his peak of acting, which I feel like, you know, was probably Life. And even when he's doing, you know, the more so subdued comedy, but there's still action and there's a good balance, like the balance that we get with the Bad Boy, you know, movies. But for the most part, we never really get, you know, Life again. We get this, we get T, we get Terrence, we get I ain't no fruity pie, like we get, what is that? Ugh. So by the time they get to, you know, the plot of, you know, seeking revenge, going to rob the boss, I know the codes, we can get in, let's have a plan, let's actually cover up our face with a mask, stop committing these dumbass robberies that are going to get you caught, let's get serious, let's be thoughtful, let's get the cash and get out, and I also get the vengeance that I'm seeking on my wife who cheated on me. Which, you know, of course the plot is just paper thin, so we know that that wasn't actually her. But like, it just was so bad and freaking unfunny. We have dumb shit happening, you know, like Tim Robbins, there's a spider on you and can you get out? And, you know, he strikes the matches and he's dancing and his feet is on fire because he accidentally put, like, everything happening ducks in a row for coincidence. That shit was not funny. Like, everybody's bantering doesn't work. Everybody's story doesn't work. I can watch 48 Hours now. I can watch Rush Hour now, and that shit is gonna hit and it's gonna be funny. This movie is not funny. Get it out my face. Get it out my face. We go through the dog and pony show of, you know, actual real life robbers being on their ass, you know, following them, trying to rob them, you know, just because. All the way to escalating to them following and taking the money and, you know, that whole thing. Like, I am so sorry to the person who paid for this, because a lot of movies, I can always kind of find something that speaks to me. Even if it's bad, I still can find something. There was nothing here. Even when we bypass that, even before the robbery, and we have them have, you know, kind of some correlation of understanding each other and, you know, their backgrounds and kind of forming a friendship, and we go back to the hood for Big Mama to strike a mighty blow and slap them the fuck up. I was like, okay. But, you know, we have to establish, you know, oh, he's not just a robber, he's, you know, a person, he has a wife and he has kids, and oh, he has a degree. Like, it was not hitting. I found myself sitting just waiting for this shit to be over. It was Keisha Cole. I just wanted it to be over. Is it over? I don't wanna love you, don't wanna see you, just wanna leave you. I swear, I just wanted it to be over. I just wanted it to be over. Throughout the entire film, I found every single situation with Martin Lawrence over the top and unfunny. You know, him waving the gun. Maybe him waving the gun and, you know, everybody shut the fuck up, everybody. Like, I maybe did a little hee. I did a Michael Jackson. I did a hee. I did that much of a laugh there. But once, you know, we have Nick have the revelation of, oh my God, I'm glad I didn't sleep or cheat on my wife, because she never cheated on me. It was a misunderstanding this whole time. It was her sister. Oh, but I'm on camera. I'm, once again, Tim Robbins being the comedy relief here, and the whole taking off his mask and the whole thing, because he's just, you know, he has nothing to lose. Both of them at this point have nothing to lose, which is, you know, the idea. Of course, it's because of Martin's character and his circumstances in life, and him not being able to, you know, take care of his family the proper way, and, you know, him just feeling like his wife is cheating on him. But once he has that revelation, it's like, oh no, I need to get the money back from those robbers, take the money back, put it back, and, you know, go back and get my family. And of course we have Terrence on the end like, no, I have to go back to nothing, this was not the plan, whatever. But we show that Terrence actually has some type of integrity and actually cares for him, because he goes back and erases the videotapes and all that other good stuff. And, you know, we end off with them in the park and the friendship, and I'm gonna help you get a job, and, you know, everything's cool, you know, the way it would be cool in a typical 90s comedy. I didn't care about any of that. Nothing here was funny. This was not a good time. This was not a good watch. Don't go back and watch this. Why would you do that? Don't do that. The most I got from this is that nostalgia grows old over time. Like, stuff that you thought was funny and was good, because I can clearly remember watching this and not having a problem. It wasn't my favorite, but it totally made me reevaluate all of his films, and I finally got the answer to why I wouldn't go back and watch something like College Road Trip, the Big Mama's House films, Black Knight, and shit like that. Like, it's just bad. It's really bad. And it's really sad, because I feel like we could get so much more from Martin Lawrence, and it'll be great if we got that. Like, when he's good, he's good. When he's on, he's on. But when he's not, we get the other shit. I don't want the other shit. Please don't give me the other shit. I just want it to be over. Well, you guys, that was my really quick review for Nothing to Lose. That was probably the quickest review I've ever given. Please drop down and tell me if you feel my sentiments about Martin Lawrence, because I'm not even gonna call this a breakdown. This was in no way of a breakdown, but this is probably one of the first films where I just could not muster up one. It didn't warrant that, because it was tough. This was hard to watch. I was like, oh God, somebody shake me. I just couldn't do it, you know what I'm saying? But drop down and give me you guys' opinions or my thoughts about the film, and, you know, Martin Lawrence and his career, his comedy or lack thereof. I really look forward to reading your comments. Thank you guys for watching this video. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.